Hello and welcome back to Norrin Reads. Today I will be reviewing Silver Surfer number 3 from the 1987 series. This is written by Steve Englehart and Marshall Rogers, pencils and colors by Marshall Rogers, and inks by Joe Rubinstein. Now this issue is entitled Heaven, and it begins with the Collector, one of the elders of the universe. His wife Matani has been brought back from the dead by the Grand Master, and this involves an agreement that the Collector and the Grand Master have made, and I can get into more details about that as we progress. The Collector's thrilled and he embraces his wife, and he says, "He did it! The Grand Master did it! He brought you out of death's domain! Matani, my darling one, how do you feel?" She replies, "It doesn't matter." I don't understand." "That doesn't matter either. But Matani, you died of apathy. We elders have lived so long because we have the will to live. Anyone can have it. You can have it. I am proof." "But I don't care, Tanaleer. I was so weary after 2 billion years. I have slept so very long since then. But I have no more desire to remain awake now than I did then." And she dies again. Now the theme I would like to focus on here is having to do with the will to live. This is something that was discussed in Silver Surfer number 2 when Norrin and Shalabal were discussing the future of Zen Law, and we reflected on the Silver Surfer's past, and we reflected on the current situation where the Zenlavians need to rebuild their world, and the Silver Surfer offered to use his power cosmic to help, and Shalabal refused it because they need something to yearn for and to strive for, and that's what the Elder is discussing here. The elders, they are able to live forever, but only if they have something to pursue. They can die of apathy. So I think that this theme of having something to live for and something to accomplish is a great theme, and it seems to be one that is being consistent. The Surfer bursts in. He wants answers from the Collector. He says, "I want to know what you elders are doing, Tanaleer Tivan. First, the Champion attacks me, saying he's allied himself with the Skrulls. Next, I learn that the Grand Master plans to kill the Avengers, and when I save the West Coast members, you do your best to rectify that for him." The Collector responds, "I cannot speak for the others, Surfer. We elders call each other brother, but we are not related or close. The Champion I know nothing about, and as for the Grand Master, you may remember that he sacrificed himself to save me from death once. I certainly owed him a debt, and he offered to send my wife back to me. As you can see, that didn't transpire as planned either." Surfer sees the Collector's wife laying dead on the ground. He empathizes with the Collector, understanding his loss because he doesn't have his Shalabal anymore. Granted, she's alive, but he doesn't have her, and so he can understand, but he still doesn't trust the Collector. Luckily, Espirita is there. She confirms the fact that this dead woman is the Collector's wife. Espirita explains that she's been the prisoner of the Collector since the events of West Coast Avengers Annual number 2 and Avengers Annual number 16. The Surfer says, "Tivan, I'm going to get to the bottom of these various plots. If you have no connection with him as you say, then I will not trouble you again. But if I find otherwise, you'll not find me so accommodating when I return." The Surfer takes Espirita, intent on returning her to Earth. After the Surfer leaves, the Collector contacts Champion, telling him that the Silver Surfer must be stopped. This is a great moment about grief in the story, one of these philosophically powerful moments that I look for in these books. When the Collector is speaking to Champion, Champion tells the Collector, "Rest for a time. I'll alert the others." The Collector responds, "Rest? No rest for me, for rest would give me time to grieve, and I collected all the grief I needed 3 billion years ago." And anybody who's been through grief, they know what that's like. One tries to keep oneself busy. While this is happening, we see plants in the Collector's collection thinking, and we see their thoughts. They say, "The Collector and the Champion are linked." Espirita and Surfer return to Earth, and they have what I would consider a fantastic exchange about spirituality and religion. Espirita believes that the Silver Surfer might be a herald of the Messiah, and he reacts, "Nebula unfolding, no! I heard the legends while I was trapped, legends of a religious Messiah, but any similarities are pure coincidence." She replies, "It's not just legend. That is, well, I'm a Christian. I believe in my Bible, and I believe that my family has walked with God for many generations. I know that the Son of God will return someday, preceded by other holy men." The Surfer replies, "Espirita, in my travels through space, I found the religious impulse in all parts of the universe, and I've met gods. I can't speak to the specific manifestations on your world, but I believe that there is an energy that touches all of us. I cannot say for certain that there is a plan, but I know I would have no special place in that plan. She replies, we all have a special place, Surfer, but I take your meaning. Meanwhile, back in space, a Skrull ship containing the ambassador sent to Zenla and the Zenlavian Skrull agent comes under attack. They're overwhelmed by the Kree and they cannot win. The ambassador says, we have our orders for this situation, Commander Krillok. And the Zenlavian agent says, orders? What orders? He replies, we're going to paradise, Agent Alarok. And he pulls a device. The paradise promised all brave Skrulls. The Kree's sensors stop sensing life on the Skrull ship. They arrive on the ship to find the Skrulls disintegrated. The Kree commander says, they've been blown apart from the inside as if they swallowed antimatter, but what didn't they want us to know? Another plant that was on the Skrull bridge thinks. The Kree are one step closer to learning that the Skrulls have lost their shape-changing power. After leaving Espirita on Earth, the Silver Surfer sets off into space and is immediately encountered by the Runner. The Surfer is shocked because he didn't hear him approach him. The Runner explains, I live to see all there is, to see all the universe. I would have swiftly reached the end of my 5 billion years if I had to endure what you did. Referencing the Silver Surfer's entrapment on Earth. And again, this goes back to this will to survive. The Runner's will is to see everything in the universe, to explore, to be constantly on the move. If he could not do that, he would die. The Surfer realizes that he should be afraid of this Runner because he's an elder, but there's something about him that makes him feel safe. The Surfer asks him, what brings you to me now, Golden Man? And with a fantastic smile on his face, the Runner says, why, I've come to kill you, of course. The pair battle. The Surfer realizes that the Runner has greater strength than he. His strength is greater than the power cosmic. He weakens the Silver Surfer and throws him into a nearby planetoid. The Surfer's silvery skin begins to fade and darken, and he wonders if he's dying. As he lays there with his life force fading, a hand touches his forehead, and a beautiful green woman is revealed. The bottom of the page reads, next, Mantis. I enjoyed the continuing theme of willpower and having something to strive for in this issue. It's what keeps the elders alive, and I believe that that's what keeps real human beings alive. So I'm happy to see that this is a theme that continues through these last 2 issues at least. I'm interested to see if it continues further. I really enjoyed Espirita and Surfer's conversation about spirituality and religion. Again, I enjoy those philosophical moments, and I enjoy what the Surfer said about us all being connected. I think that the artwork and the writing for this series is incredible. I tend to focus more on the story because the artwork is really great and I feel like it just speaks for itself. I'll try to do more commentary on that in the future, but because the artwork is so great, I tend to just focus on the story and sort of dissecting that. I want to thank you again for watching this series, and we'll see you out there on the Cosmic Spaceways.